All right. Another week, another video. Hope that you're doing absolutely fantastic today. First things first, if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you've never seen my face, never seen one of my videos, my name is McKenna. I own a digital media company called Studio SB Creatives. And today, I'm just coming back with another video. I said last week that I had a couple videos that I wanted to make before we got too far into 2026, and this is one of those videos. Again, I don't know how regularly I'm going to be posting. I'm still working on finishing some things that I've been meaning to get done. I'm still, working on other projects that require my attention right now above making YouTube videos. But I did want to make this particular video before it got too late into 2026 and just didn't really make sense to make it anymore. And in this video, I just want to talk about what I kind of expect for myself in the coming year, the things that I want to accomplish, the things that I want to do. Without further ado, let's just kind of get into that. So what is it that I expect from myself? What is it that I want to do in 2026? Well, like I said last week in my last video, I've been thinking about where I want to take this channel. And again, I know I have the big picture. I know where I want things to be, down the road, but I'm still trying to figure out how to get there. And one of the things that I want to do this year is take those little steps, take those, baby steps that are going to put me in the right direction and put me on the path that I need to be on to go from where I am to where I want to be. So that is one of the main things I want to focus on. I want to start making the content and producing the content that will ultimately move me in the direction that I really want to go in, and start bringing me closer to the overall goal that I have envisioned for this channel. That is the biggest thing of them all. Secondly, when it comes to my personal business, when it comes to Studio SB Creatives, I want to start growing. I want to start doing more with that. I want to start expanding my business. I have been running a small business for going on 4 years now, I believe. And I haven't really done a whole lot with it, mostly because I just got some contract work, and that has basically been holding me over this whole time. And I've tried, here and there to expand and do little things, but I was never really consistent about it. I never really tried that hard, mostly because my contract work just gets so busy. Like we saw last summer, I was swamped. I was emotionally and physically exhausted from the year, just because there were a lot of negative things that happened that really took a toll. And it was just a really big, long, busy year. And it made it really hard for me to focus on other facets. It made it really hard for me to focus on the growth of my company. So I've been sitting down and I've been thinking for a couple months now about, what is the next step? What do the next couple years look like for me and for Studio SB? And I think all things permitted, if all goes well, I'd actually like to open up a photo studio location. That's another really big thing that I think is either accomplishable this year, or if I work hard enough on it and I, set myself up, it might be a 2027 thing. Now, like I said, I've been thinking about it for months. I've been, pondering this idea and that idea, And one of the main things holding me back from actually doing that right now is just finding the right location. And I don't just mean like area on a map. I mean like I have a very specific kind of building structure in my mind. And so far I found a couple things that fit in there, but they're not quite what I want. And a couple of them that I probably could have made work were just way, 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 way outside my price range. And I'm all about taking risks, but I'm not willing to basically ruin my entire, financial stability and risk everything I have and more on a maybe. So, I'm just waiting for the right location to kind of come around so that I can execute that idea, because it's something that I've been thinking long and hard about. And I think I have a really good grasp and idea on how I want that to look and how I want it to function. It's just about having all the other pieces fall into place. And there's nothing that I can do personally to make it move any faster. There are some things on the back end that I can do, such as talking to banks and getting loans or investors or this thing or that thing. But, I kind of need a bunch of other things to fall into place before I can do that. But at the end of the day, that is one of the other big goals that I would really like to accomplish. And the idea that I have in my mind is not something that currently exists in the area that I live in. So I think that, the uniqueness of it would bring a really special value to myself and to other photographers and videographers in the area. So I don't see why what I've conjured up in my mind would not be a successful idea, but I don't know how successful. And again, risking everything I have and then some on this one idea is kind of a lot to commit to when I don't exactly know how things are going to turn out. And then the last thing that I want to accomplish this year is it's more simple. It's something that I've done in the past, and it's just something that I want to keep up with, and that is expanding my knowledge, reading my books, continuing my journey of personal growth, kind of in and outside of my business. I want to read more. I want to learn more. I want to absorb more information that aligns with, my current mindset. And I want to develop that mindset. I want to keep learning new ideas and keep expanding my knowledge on the topics that I've already been introduced to. So I need to take my happy butt down to Barnes & Noble or, do a little bit of research and make an order online and get me some new literature to flip through and highlight. And, some of those videos tend to do really well when I talk about the concepts that I've been introduced to, and I relay them to everybody on the internet. So that's more of an achievable goal. I don't have any crazy, like, I need to hit $1 million this year or $500,000 or I need to get this many clients or do this thing or that thing. I tried setting those goals once and it just didn't work out. And I don't want to be unrealistic about my goals, because if I don't hit them, it's really discouraging, and it shouldn't be. I'm 26, about to be 27, and being in my position is really weird because I see this vision for myself and where I think I should be based on where other people are, and with social media and all these other things, I know myself and a million other people are just drawing comparisons, and we're seeing people who are more successful than us. We're seeing people at our age who are more successful than us, who are younger than us, who are doing more and becoming more successful than us. And being constantly surrounded by that type of content is just really discouraging, at least for me. It should make you want to try harder, but when you see the competition, when you see things not going your way, when you see all the negatives, it's really hard to look past those things to the positives, to the what ifs, to the what could be's. And, I want to apply myself and I want to achieve these really big goals and hopes and dreams. And, I have unrealistic expectations for what I want. And when I say unrealistic, I don't mean like hyper unrealistic. I just mean like it seems a little far-fetched to become reality, but not far enough that it seems like it's only a hope or only a dream or only a what if. It's more of a when. It's more of a science of how hard do I apply myself to get to that state that I want to be in. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now. And like I said, this last year, it took a massive toll on me, and I was just physically exhausted, and I did not have the energy to dump into that hope and dream, and I didn't have the energy to put in to take me from where I am to where I want to be. And I've been feeling really bad about it. I busted my behind this summer, and it really did put some things into perspective for me, because as much as I like the work that I do, I realized that I'm essentially giving the same amount of effort that I would be if I were working a 9 to 5. I am under contract. I am working with, well, I'll put it this way. On paper, I am at an equal level with the people that I'm working with, but in reality, it's more of an employer-employee relationship. And, it says Studio SB on the pay stubs, but at the end of the day, it's a 9 to 5. And it's, like I said, I like the work that I'm doing, but it's just not bringing me the fulfillment that I want it to. It's not making it any easier for me to do the things that I want to do in the background. It's not making it any easier for me to grow my own business. Now, I do have the luxury of, choosing my schedule, saying that I will or will not work. But when I don't have a whole lot going on, it's really hard to, try and take advantage of the other things that I should be and want to be taking advantage of. So this year is all about growth. It's all about, getting the stars aligning and getting everything organized and figured out and getting from point A to point B or point B to C and so on. It is just about moving forward for me this year. And I hope that, it's the same for you. I hope that this video is inspiring you to, take those steps, those leaps, those jumps, those risks to start propelling yourself forward and being getting you from where you are to where you want to be. And that's all I can hope. That's what I want to do. I hope that, the people who watch these videos have a similar mindset to me and want to achieve dreams in a similar manner. You might not have the same hopes or the same dreams as I do, but, you might have the same ambition. You might be at the same place that I am in. And, I wish you nothing but success in your ventures. And I am rooting for you all the way. So that's my quick little video, the things that, my expectations for 2026, what I want for myself, what I want for this channel, what I want for my business, and also what I want for you. So if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to talk about your hopes, your dreams, the goals that you plan to accomplish in 2026, go ahead and leave me a comment. And if you want to see more videos like this, you want to see what crazy adventures I get up to this year, because I have them planned and I will be getting up to some crazy adventures, or if you just want to see more of my face, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.